One, unless Lucknow Super Giants register a huge win, say of 100 or 120 runs, then it can topple CSK from the second position. And essentially now you're going to see one team secure a brilliant win, and thanks to our Anbudan, our yellow weights, MS Dhoni's Chennai Super Kings. The second team in the playoffs, the queue finally comes after Gujarat. A queue comes in front of Chennai Super Kings.
So today you will actually potentially know up to if Lucknow lose, then again you're waiting till tomorrow to find out who the last two are.
Yes.
And I'm obviously hoping for a Lucknow loss.
Yes,
You
because
are?
Yeah. It's against us, man.
Oh,
and lot of rivalry. If it's Lucknow, there has to be a rivalry because KKR last year,
Well, that's not a rivalry. That was a close match. I think rivalry, they have one true rivalry, and that's against your team.
RCB.
yeah, RCB.
Indeed. And what a match that was. Rinku Singh almost doing the unthinkable. I mean, 2022 Rinku Singh and 2023 vast difference.
No, actually 2022 in the second half, I remember, he
It
started
was the
getting
making.
regular games, and then he started kind of having a few good performances. That Lucknow game in particular was a blinder. Oh, we have a toss update, do we?
Oh,
Kolkata Knight Riders have chosen to bowl.
Yes, and I think obviously, it makes sense. It's in Kolkata.
Yeah.
It is that
The
kind
rain
of,
factor also
yes,
later on.
Exactly. And they know also, they note for the fact that you need not just you need a big win.
What a catch!
Oh.
Chennai is catching, and especially Rituraj has been in
so
great
many
form.
things happening at once.
I know, that's the thing, but that's the chaos of Super Saturday and
Yes.
Super Sunday.
And Warner will not get to his fifth run.
Yeah,
He's
that's
out
what I was
for
thinking. I'm like, the only real interesting point at this point was, does he get to his turn or not? He quite clearly doesn't now.
But a good knock from David Warner because he really held up the ship. Come on, you have to give
he
that
did.
guy
He
some
did.
credit.
And Chennai dispelling jersey notions and all that hula baloo about it. Delhi are suffering their first loss in the rainbow jersey as well.
And in fact, if I'm not wrong, if Delhi lose this, are they bottom?
No, they are on 10 points.
Oh yeah, SRH are an 8.
Yeah.
So, okay, but if SRH do the unthinkable tomorrow
And win.
then their net run rate already
Oh,
Delhi's will take a
yeah.
pounding. 80 runs of 9 balls, you're essentially winning by 65 runs, hopefully. You don't concede 15 runs of 9 balls. 75 run win, much better. But
So two things worth noting. KKR are playing with the same team. They've
Wow.
made no changes, which is, I think now for the last few games, they've been making bare minimum in terms of changes, such a positive. If only they settled on this thing earlier in the season, wouldn't be in this situation. But LSG are making 2 changes.
Karan Sharma, not Karn, Karan Sharma.
I'm assuming he's
an
batter.
all-rounder,
Okay.
batting all-rounder.
So
And
instead of Deepak Hooda, they have Karan Sharma.
Okay.
And Krishnappa Gautam comes in for, and Swapnil had a terrible game last time around.
Yeah.
So,
it actually made no sense to have a Swapnil
Exactly.
Singh because you have a Krunal who's doing the same role.
and now, by the way, they've corrected that because Gautam can bowl you a little bit of off spin.
Bishnoi, leg spin. Krunal, left arm orthod. Oh, Patirana.
Nasty.
Wow.
Nasty.
Nortje, how does it feel, Andrit Nortje? Because he had to face. He bowled brilliant Yorkers and pacey Yorkers at the death more often. And Patirana 145.8.
What a threat Pathirana has been in the death overs. I mean,
Oh, that.
would you rate him as the best death bowler in the IPL this season?
He's up there for
He
sure.
is up there, and if you look at it, he somehow managed to defend 8 runs against Punjab Kings. Somehow he got
Yeah.
into the last ball. Unfortunately, those 3 runs. Now, luckily, it doesn't hurt us because we are getting to 17 points,
And that guarantees qualification and potentially a top 2 spot, unless LSG absolutely hammer Kolkata today.
I think this is the margin, right? If now, because Kolkata are bowling, if they restrict LSG to about 100, supposing, and they chase it down in 7 or 8 overs, they will have a better net run rate than RCB.
Yes.
That is the thing, right? So Kolkata are still very much in it, folks. And yes,
The key is, of course,
Such a big, I mean,
it's a big task for sure.
big task, yes.
Or another thing which KKR can do, and again, this is also not entirely out of the question, is get a handy win, not a 100 runs in 7-8 overs. Maybe say if you're chase it down in 14, 15, 16 overs, or if you're, obviously they'll be chasing, so 15, 16 overs, chase it down, get your net run rate as close to positive, then pray to the gods that Gujarat absolutely hammer RCB.
Yeah.
That's also a possibility.
no, but the problem is, see, why overhauling RCB? Because even RR.
Yeah, then you have to overhaul both. Yeah, that's the case. So much math involved. So much math.
If Punjab had won yesterday,
Then it would have been advantage KKR.
KKR.
Really. Yeah. I was, for once in my life, I was hoping that Punjab could win.
but Punjab,
Punjab
undid you
did.
twice.
Twice, not once but twice. First is that opening game of the season with that
Now this.
floodlight, and now this time. Thanks, Punjab Kings.
Thank you. So 78 runs needed of 6 balls. Oh boy, it's Chennai. And Thikshana's going the final over, a spinner.
Doesn't matter at this point. Anyone could bowl the final over. Like Dhoni could just throw the
78.
gloves to someone and bowl it himself.
Yeah, maybe he can do that if suppose CSK are winning the IPL title with this margin. He can bowl the last over and say, that's it. मैं पल दो पल का शायर हूँ.
Farewell.
Yeah, could
That'll
happen.
be something.
But remember, it will have to happen at Chepauk.
Yes.
It is not happening anywhere else. The Anbudan want them to ensure that Dhoni leaves on the higher Chepauk. That's the one favor that some of them are. But I spoke to, as I've said in the past, I've spoken to Hari. You remember the CSK fan, totally with
Yes,
yellow,
yes,
with the curly hair. Hari Saravanan, he says that I pray as a CSK super fan, I do not see that day. I will not be able to take it. Because already he was in a bad situation when Dhoni had announced his retirement.
That's a wicket.
Thikshana! Well, okay.
There we go.
So, only the second wicket to spin today, by the way.
Yeah, so this is definitely was not a spinning track at
At
No.
all. That means the lengths that the Delhi Capitals bowlers bowled,
What terrible.
they were woeful.
Because actually, if you look at it really, even Delhi, one of the reasons they lost so many wickets was because they had to be on an attack at all times.
Yeah.
They're chasing 223. A lot of the wickets were thrown. And truth be told, if they had actually bowled better, kept it over 180, 190, they'd be in the game right now. But they're not.
They aren't.
I mean, it again comes down to the basics of, playing on a pitch like this, where you know nothing's going to benefit you really. So you just have to stick to your line and length and hope for the best.
Yeah.
But Delhi went haywire. today.
Haywire. And if you look at it now, Dhoni won a very important toss.
Yes, yes.
Remember, 180, 190, it would have been a tricky total to chase. And
Gone.
it's out.
Gone.
Wow. Thikshana.
He's
Wow.
the second bowler to be on a
Amazing.
hat trick today.
After Deepak Chair.
Yes.
So,
Deepak-
yeah,
Yeah,
Deepak.
yeah,
Got it.
no, he was on a hat trick.
On
He
a
didn't
hat
get
Yeah,
it.
he got
Right.
Salt and he got Russo.
Yeah, but he wasn't able to get Dhul.
Two
Yes.
very, very important wickets. If Russo or Salt stuck around and banged a few,
Yeah,
I
this would
think it
certainly
could.
it would be
yeah,
a
it
closer
could.
game for
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
not a win, they could have been at 170, 180, which would have again meant that CSK's net run rate would
Yeah.
probably not get the kind of boost it does.
Respectability factor would have been there. And
Yeah.
that's the carom ball from Mahesh Thikshana.
And Kuldeep didn't read it at all.
Yeah.
Look at that pitch. Oh my gosh.
Imagine. So, in the last league game at the Arun Jaitley Stadium, what you've seen is Delhi, I think, have won only one game.
One.
What? No
Against-
more than that.
No, they lost to Punjab.
Huh.
Oh, they won 2.
Huh.
They've defeated KKR.
KKR.
They defeated RCB.
Out of
Of
everyone
the
else.
all teams.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Now, if you look at it, have they reviewed this? Really?
really, that's just wasting time for the sake
Oh
of
Yeah, I
man,
know.
it's already
So,
7.
Matisha and Thikshana, I hope they get their chess game better next time because
Oh, they have reviewed it. Dear
they
God.
have. Oh,
That's clear out.
pitching in line and it's plumb.
Out.
Remember, they were playing chess without kings on the board.
Yeah, I saw that.
I hope that in Jetalal Gada's words, ये कौन सा chess game है? Where the kings
He
are.
reviewed that. He
Yeah.
reviewed that.
I think it was just a.
Punt.
Let's just.
Yeah, let's just finish our reviews.
Yeah.
So Delhi Capitals, I think, have won only 2 games out of the 7 that they have played. At,
The opposite of a fortress, really.
yeah.
Horrible.
The
from
same
them.
opposite of a fortress is actually Sunrisers, only 1 win.
Oh yeah.
But then that
Sunrisers.
does reflect on the table, really.
Yes.
It does
I
reflect on the
think-
table.
Sunrisers really, kind of lost it at the auction itself.
They lost it at the auction.
No, I don't think so. See, their team, if you looked at it on
it
paper,
is good,
you
but-
looked at it, you're like, yeah, this is a really settled team. In fact, a lot of people had gone out and said that on paper, this is the most balanced side round. I think a lot of key failures was what Esraj, I mean, Makaram didn't perform.
Brook.
Rahul Tripathi didn't
Brook.
perform. Brook, I would have still been okay with. You would have still fared better if you had these two perform. The fulcrum of your middle order, your number 3 and number 4 not performing, you're always going to struggle, especially at a time when your openers are also struggling.
Oh, is it out? Is it out?
They'll
No,
review
no,
it
no,
for
no.
sure.
They'll review it.
Dhoni seems very convinced by
Shit,
it.
then we may have Thikshana have a hat trick.
Language.
I know,
Wow.
but What
Yes,
a
could
way for Chennai to qualify and get
Yeah,
over
because this means they won't face the last ball. They're 9 down.
They're not down. They're done. But Dhoni is reviewed. Either he said, okay, let's just review.
No, the way he looked very confident. So I don't know
He
with
was
Dhoni.
laughing.
Maybe pitching might be an issue. It's hitting the
I
stumps.
think so. I think pitching's the issue.
Pitching is an
Let's
issue.
see.
Look how.
Another carom ball.
No, it looks fine with the pitching.
No. Look.
Oh, I think it is pitching is an issue. I think it may be pitching
Let's
outside
see.
leg. So why did Dhoni waste his own review
It
system?
doesn't matter. He knows
Doesn't
that
matter.
he wants to get give his bowler every chance at a hat-trick.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
That's what makes Dhoni.
Let's see the pitching now.
I think it's pitching outside leg.
It is outside.
It is
There we
outside
go.
leg. Come on, yaar. Dhoni review system. Nah, no way.
Pitching was outside. Even the impact really didn't seem like it was
Yeah.
in line at all. So
No.
I think he did it just to give him a chance.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh no, he's telling him no. He's telling him no. That means he knows it's not out.
Then why?
Because he knows
Yeah,
there's
I
nothing
know.
to lose. Same.
Oh,
Oh,
this is
that's
gone.
an out.
Oh, man. Sakaria had 2 carom balls which he failed to read at all. And now
And
he's
he's
reviewing
reviewing it. Why? It's the last ball of the
I
match.
think it
What's to
might
improve
be.
his average or what? Not out.
But still, start the whistles,
No,
folks.
I think they lost the review, did they?
No, they had one.
They have one.
They had
review.
one.
They have
they
one.
had one.
I
review.
thought they lost all of their.
Yeah.
Start the whistles, folks, because CSK, Chennai Super Kings are through.
Thank
to the
God he's
play.
sitting right below the CSK stuff.
Of course.
Yes.
Our Anbudan. They
Just don't
are.
drop it if we're good. Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, he's a goner.
Our Anbudan
Oh,
are
that's out.
back.
Could he have bowled that on the last ball? You'd have got a hat trick.
No, he did bowl, but I think the pitching was.
Yeah,
an
the pitching
issue.
was the problem.
Yeah, so thank you, Chennai Super Kings, for making another of my predictions come true. This is also pitching outside leg.
Oh man! Oh, by a very small margin.
Rest
eh?
of margins.
Doesn't matter. I mean, they've already lost. So
Yeah. Oh man, but still,
They'll have
no
to
problem.
play one more ball, right?
no, that was the
Is
last
it-
ball. That was the
Achha,
last
that
ball.
was the last ball.
That's the last ball.
It was the last ball of the match. Which is why I thought, what's the point of reviewing it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing.
Chennai.
But that's a double wicket maiden in the final over.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow. Only Glenn Maxwell did that. But that was not in a IPL game. It was no.
BBL.
No, on a international game. Pakistan.
Oh.
They needed 2 of 6. Pakistan. Sohail Tanveer played a dot, then got bowled. Irfan swung thrice. Last
Missed.
ball,
Lofted.
lofted, out.
Dear God.
Pakistan lost by 1 run.
So Chennai Super Kings have also now officially qualified. If not, it'll take a few minutes. No worry, it'll come.
It will come, but it is Chennai Super Kings who are the second team
Yes.
to qualify, and potentially, unless Lucknow Super Giants don't play
Major spoil sport.
they are playing the top 2. And
Yeah.
Gujarat, Chennai at Chepauk.
I'm really
Watch out for that.
really waiting for the day where I get to experience this kind of excitement.
No, you'll make it to the playoffs. This kind of excitement comes from winning 4 titles.
Yeah,
Yes.
true. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, give me a chance.
Eventually,
happy.
maybe in your old age.
Cricket, give me a chance.
Yeah.
Dear
One
RCB,
more
give me a
chance.
chance.
Yes, for the title. So, breaking news, folks, and let's see what is the net run rate, which
We
will
won't
come
know
up now.
yet.
Yeah, I think it should be updated in the next 3 to 4
Give it
minutes.
5 minutes. Till then we'll go over the playing 11s of because I think he has them ready. There we go. So as I said, the KKR 11 hasn't really changed. So that's a pretty strong looking 11, or should I say the strongest 11 that KKR can put out at this point in time. You're opening with Ramonella Gurbaz and Jason Roy, Venkatesh Iyer, Nitish Rana, your left-handed number 3s and number 4s. Andre Russell at 5, Rinku Singh at 6. That's fluid because Rinku more often than not comes at 5. Shardul Thakur, Sunil Narayan. This, by the way, is their bowling 11? Yeah, they're fielding first.
They're fielding
They're
first.
fielding
Yes,
first.
yes,
So
yes.
that means, wait, they're bowling first and Suyash isn't starting. Very, very interesting. That means I don't think they're expecting it to be a spin-friendly track.
Yes.
Because otherwise you'd have Suyash on too. I don't think they're expecting this track to spin as much. Because you're batting till number 8, Sunil Narayan, and that means potentially you're bringing in a batsman, maybe Anukul Roy.
Anukul Roy.
Yeah.
But Anukul you could have started with anyway. That's none of my business.
How could you have started with Anukul?
He bowls also, no?
But
Anukul is an all-rounder, no?
then you'd have to send out someone.
Then if it's Mandeep Singh or Jagadisan, then I'll jump from here. Let it be. Let it not be either of them.
I don't think so. How many foreigners? You got Gurbaz, Roy, Russell, Narayan.
Yeah, your foreigners are sorted, so it can't be David Visa. Then it has to be Mandeep, because again, if you're not starting with Suyash, ideally you could have started with Suyash and captain a Rinku. Then Rinku would be your impact player, but mind you, that means they'll be having 9 batsmen. Because right now they have 8. You're batting till Sunil Narayan, then you have Vaibhav Vadora, Harshit Rana, and of course Varun Chakravarti. Pretty strong, as I said, the strongest playing 11 that Kolkata could put out right now.
Yep.
Happy with that. Very good, they made no changes. But what this tells you, does give you an indication. I think this pitch is going to be a belter.
Yes. And remember, KKR are somehow still mathematically
With the barest of hopes, you are alive somehow.
Yes.
But again, see, I'll be very frank. I know this, and this is true for not just me, I'm sure, but a lot of Kolkata fans. Yes, you're hoping that you can somehow make it. But I think fans will be happy even if you just get a win, end the season on a high.
Plus motivation, because your opponents are playing with the Mohan Bagan Super Giants.
Yeah.
You know, I feel a certain way about that, and I'll tell you why. So everyone knows that I have plenty of roots in the city of Kolkata, but another interesting one is that from my mom side family, I actually come from a family of Mohan Bagan supporters. So this is a pretty clever, you can say clever, classless, tasteless, whatever you want to call it as a ploy. And I really hope to God KKR smash them for this.
And remember, it's like how Maradona used the Napoli.
Yeah, it's exactly that. But the big difference there is that with Napoli, there was actual honest to God tension that existed.
Yes.
You know, here there's nothing. You're trying to, to use a term that a lot of us will be familiar, it's chugli karna. It's that. You're trying to get a reaction out of the crowd, and I hope to God KKR smash them. For this and this reason only. I have nothing against LSG. In fact, I hope they're a team that does well. They're also someone who has someone like Gigi, Gautam Gambhir, you know, KKR legend if there ever was, 2-time title winning captain. But I really hope they smash them.
Imagine former KKR legend with the opponent and playing. I mean, you may say this was kind of gamesmanship.
It's gamesmanship and it's clever gamesmanship. I'll give them that. But I really hope they get smashed.
Of course.
Now, moving on to the LSG playing 11, and truth be told, they've always had that little bit of a KL Rahul shaped hole.
Yeah.
And again, they're trying someone new. So you have Quinton de Kock who's opening, Karan Sharma, Prerak Mankad, Marcus Stoinis, Nicholas Puran, Krunal Pandya, Ayush Badoni, Krishnappa Gautam, Ravi Bishnoi, Naveenullah and Mohsin Khan. So that's 2 changes they made, as they said.
Yeah.
One is that Karan Sharma comes in for Deepak Hooda, who's been woefully out of form. Krishnappa Gautam comes in place of, what is his name?
This guy, Swapnil Singh.
Swapnil Singh.
Yes.
And I think the key here, which means, by the way, again, no Kyle Mayers, which is a little bit of a surprise. But I mean, personally, could you see, and I'm just throwing this question out there, that they could include someone like a Yash Thakur and replace Naveen and bring in like a Kyle Mayers and Quinton de Kock? That suddenly, why not? Why not?
Why would you send out Naveen ul Haq?
Because Naveen, even before this, it's not like he was playing every game.
That's true.
Although LSG is dead bowling, barring the game against Mumbai Indians, it's improved when Naveen ul Haq is.
Yes,
that's true. That's the only problem, because you can't drop Stoinis.
You can't drop Puran.
You can't drop Puran.
And you can't drop de Kock.
No, but de Kock didn't play for more than half the tournament. So Mayers really is the unfortunate fall guy.
Yep.
But anyway, that's a very strong looking team. The key though is how does their bowling do, because how does their batting do first up? Because again, they have a pretty good record against Kolkata. I think last year they only played 2. Yeah, 2 games. You have 2 losses. Kolkata have 2 losses. That is so. It's definitely, you know, head to head, as small as it is, does definitely favor LSG. Kolkata though, again, as I said, they're a team that really doesn't have that much to lose, because again, mathematically, even with that chance, it's a 1 in a million chance.
1 in a million, yes.
We're all hopeful at this point, nothing else. You don't have your destiny in your own hands. It's not a case of like you win and get to 16 and you're in. No, you win, you get to 14, then hope that 2 other results go your way. So it's a tough time.
And Chennai Super Kings' net run rate 0.65.
So they're 100%, unless Lucknow really trash KKR, they're probably second.
We'll find out today.
We'll find out today. So, 2 spots now guaranteed. 2 spots. One is Gujarat Titans, the other is Chennai Super Kings. Now, whether Chennai Super Kings finishes second, it remains to be seen, because no team can get to 18. If GT win tomorrow, then runaway leaders with 20. So that's why Chennai Super Kings with 0.652, because of the 77 run win that they have had. Lucknow Super Giants 0.304.
Yeah, but then the RCB GT game is so in doubt because there are visuals coming in of heavy rain at Chinnaswamy
But
at Bangalore.
no problem.
No problem.
I'll tell you why. Because the rain prediction is until 8 o'clock.
No, but they're saying, I just read a forecast that said it might rain for a few more days.
Few more days, but normally the rain comes in around afternoon, vanishes by the evening time.
You'd hope he's right.
But still, it affects the match, no?
It doesn't.
Doesn't,
I'll tell
because-
you why. Because there is, after the toss, 1 hour
Of grace time.
grace time. And your match can end by 12. Okay. Now, after 1 hour, overs will start to reduce.
Yeah.
Now you'd be worried about the pitch, the outfield, what will happen.
Yes.
Moment the rain has stopped, 10 minutes, the outfield and the pitch are ready.
Oh
At the
yeah,
Chinnaswamy.
you told us about the drainage system, the newly built in.
Yeah, that drainage
Chinnaswamy's drainage
Yeah.
system is one of the best in the world.
World, not just in India, the world.
Because the subsurface aeration system, what happens is it continuously takes out the water. Okay, it throws it out of the outfield. Continues, depends on the volume of rain. If it's heavy, the power is more. If it's less, the power is medium. So the outfield is never wet. Whole of Bangalore may be underwater, but the Chinnaswamy Stadium will never be underwater.
Well, that's good news for RCB
Yes.
fans.
If you were worried about the game being totally washed out and everything, that would have been true 10 years ago. Not anymore.
Yeah, the only way that can happen is if the rain doesn't stop.
Yes.
Like what
Yeah.
happened, if I recall correctly, 2017.
Ah.
When
That's what
KKR were batting second, and eventually they got SRH out for a very low total. But then you had to wait till 1 o'clock to ensure that
Yep.
the match could start, and they had to chase a rain revised target.
No,
they
the-
did.
I mean,
The worst thing about the playoffs is we pray that there is no rain because there is a 3-hour grace period.
yeah.
Imagine 1 hour, from 1 hour to 3 hours. Jeez.
And it still didn't stop. 3 hours later, you could start losing overs. The rain relented by 11:30. 12:30, we could start 7-over game. He said, oh man. 2 o'clock the game ended. When it was supposed to end at 11:30, it ended at 2 o'clock. So, my dear
Commiserations,
friend,
Mohit.
Hanji.
Commiserations, Mohit.
Mohit is there. He is
Mohit's
Harshit.
there.
Mohit's enjoyed the game today.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did Mohit go with the yellow jersey?
No, allegiance doesn't change.
Allegiance doesn't change.
Allegiance
But
doesn't change.
okay, so let me just sum up the CSK DC game. What happened? The DC bowlers
Yeah,
bowled
what's
very
up?
badly.
They've qualified.
No,
Khatam.
they have bowled badly.
That is the headline.
They have bowled badly.
They
I'll,
did.
I'll tell you why. Because see, 223, this pitch, it was 40 runs over par.
Agreed.
Because Kuldeep lost his line, Aksar lost his line.
Yeah.
And when those two lose, and please. Okay, so when two of your prime bowlers lose their line and lengths, and when Delhi don't have that much of experience to fall back on,
True.
Yeah.
you are expected to ensure that, okay, who's ringing the bell? Is that Owen Morgan?
No.
No.
Looks like Jaunty
Jaunty
Rhodes.
Rhodes.
Jaunty
Morgan,
Rhodes,
yeah.
the LSG.
He's in the coaching staff, no?
But still,
LSG
wow.
or?
LSG coaching
Oh,
staff.
right.
Yeah, he's
He's the fielding coach
Yes,
and
he's
he
the fielding-
removed the covers, he held the ground staff there. So,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, that's good. And I'll tell you why. When two of your bowlers lose their line and lengths, and I'm talking about Kuldeep and Aksar.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but the big positive. Kolkata has a sea of purple. LSG.
Which was to have happened.
Oh, there's
In
a.
your face. I really hope they win.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see the jersey, the new jersey that comes.
Yeah, me.
Doesn't
Okay.
matter. That looks like a bad jersey from up front.
I'm sorry, boss.
From.
I
Far
thought
away, it looks
I thought
like
the
the-
Gokuldam Premier League jersey was worse last year. This tops it.
If this is your tribute to Mohan Bagan, then I think you've actually offended all of the Mohan Bagan
Look at
fans. That's bad. Like I'm sorry, but have you seen the recent Mohan Bagan jersey? It's regal.
regal.
It's wonderful. Like the green and red maroon combination is good. This is just like there's a little bit of green and the maroon looks extra dark. As a Mohan Bagan, as someone who comes with allegiances of that club, I'm offended
Why did it look different in the pictures?
because they increased the brightness. Maybe our TV quality is bad. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's because of the lights.
Could be. So, Harshit, if your combined top order, remove Warner aside,
He keeps rubbing
they
this on.
only contribute a total of 8 runs. is that been Delhi's story in IPL 2023?
Absolutely. I think, Delhi's innings today again summed up what the season has been like. The big names didn't fire all through the season, barring a couple of knocks here and there. And yeah, there's actually nothing more to say. I think over the last 14 games that we've seen from Delhi, enough has been said, and you knew that the season wasn't headed anywhere after those 5-6 matches. You lost the first 5, so there was no way back in the season. What hurts more, let's say, is the fact that all the changes that you did also didn't work out. So you tried so many players, you tried everything. You threw the kitchen sink at it, I would say, in terms of trying to get a result, try to rejig the squad. You did try all of that, nothing worked out, and that in many ways isn't something that bodes well for Delhi for next year, because you're going to be operating with the same set of players largely. Yes, of course, there'll be a mini auction that will take place, but then you don't expect the whole squad to sort of just turn around in that.
Unless you're SRH or PBKS.
Exactly.
They do it every year.
Exactly. But
The last of David Warner, the captain?
perhaps the last of David Warner, the
But
captain.
again, then what? Are you...
Aksar?
Yeesh, no.
I don't. Again, I would have liked to see those signs, let's say, in this particular campaign. I think Delhi are optimistic that Rishabh Pant will be back next year.
Exactly.
But reports suggesting otherwise, you don't know really. And to plan the entire season on Rishabh Pant already
Seems a bit premature.
Yeah.
seems premature and doesn't seem strategic enough for me right now. Like I said the other time as well, I would have wanted to see the Beaton being transferred already, because you don't know if David Warner takes retirement from all forms. Yes, of course, he will be playing the Ashes. At least he's been drafted, but you don't know where his career is headed. He's had a rough time, though ending the season on a high as far as his personal numbers are concerned. So that's the way he will look at it. But for the Delhi management, I think they're in a bit of a pickle. But at the same time, I think it's the same set of players largely. The likes of Powell, the likes of Aksar, the likes of you've also got Mitch Marsh. It's against these players only with whom you've done well in the previous seasons. So there is reason to believe that you could hope for a turnaround. But I think Delhi are missing one good India bowler, somebody who has the experience. Yes, Nokia does the job well. If they're able to do that, then you can, of course, hope for better things to happen next season.
Absolutely.
Yep. So Harshit sums up the Delhi Capitals season in just about the right way, because no contributions from the batsman on a consistent basis. As he said, which Indian bowler had an impact for Delhi Capitals?
Yeah, like last year you had Khalil who was doing really well. You had Kuldeep who was doing very well. The Kuldeep duo, as we call them. They were doing really well. Then you had Sakarya chip in. Mustafiz, when he was being drafted and was doing well. Nokia, of course. This time around, it's been Nokia and then the rest. It's Opal and Hare, the rest of the bowling line.
The bowling.
Yeah. So, yes, very sad way for 27 runs. It's a thrashing.
No two ways about it.
No two ways about it. But let's focus from the blue to the yellow, because CSK, I mean, good ball from Harshit Rana.
Not to be confused.
He's a googly bowler.
Who? Hey?
He's a carom ball bowler.
Have you seen him bowl pace?
He does bowl good pace.
Well, you got a hat trick or almost got a hat trick?
Almost.
Almost, yeah.
I was on a hat trick.
Yeah. So, I mean, everything that could go right for CSK today went.
Yeah.
Because you wanted a great opening stand. Check.
You got it.
You wanted aggressive cameos from the middle order, something
got it.
that was lacking. You got that. Early wickets, Deepak Chahar provided you with that. And once Shaw, Salt, and you may say Russo got out, that's it.
Yeah.
Too much to the left on Warner and Aksar. Well, Deepak Chahar got him out again. So I would just say that anything that could be right. It was the right day for Chennai Super Kings, and you're making a big statement in the playoffs.
Going into the playoffs, very big statement. You're in good form.
Yep.
Which is what I said, that I that time I've been talking about the last match of the league stage, which is GT RCB. I do expect GT to go hard at it. Why? Because you need that winning momentum. Yes, for about a week now you've been sitting on the top of the pile. You know that you're going to be playing in the playoffs. But then what you want going into the playoffs is winning momentum. So everyone is looking for those big wins, and that really does matter.
It does matter.
By the way, really good start from Harshit.
Yeah.
His outswinger was
Incredible.
consistently troubling de Kock to a point. There were times I did think there was a chance he'd get just a little bit of a tickle through the keeper. Played out 5 dots.
Yep.
5 dots.
Well, yes, it's a great start for KKR because remember they have to win this by a big margin.
True.
Only then they are in. Otherwise, if they win but not by a big margin, then they are out. But they also drag LSG down also. Because
हम भी डूबेंगे.
तुमको भी ले डूबेंगे. Because see, with 14, if you don't have a good net run rate, doesn't matter because
then
RR are anyway.
You have to at the very least leapfrog Rajasthan. Don't leapfrog RCB. But if you get ahead of RR, then you're in with a chance because then you can hope that GT inflict a good defeat on RCB and then potentially you climb. Whilst also hoping for hopes against the biggest miracle that SRH will beat them. It's a bad time. Just win the match, man. It's okay.
But if you look at it, see, from 0.38, Chennai went to 0.65.
They did a massive
77
win.
runs.
Exactly.
If, suppose now, it'll be chasing, there's no 110 run, there's no run margin.
Yeah.
Over margin.
Yeah.
I think you have to restrict them to about 120, 130
And try and get it in maybe 8-9 overs.
8-9 overs.
Jesus.
Big task. And that's why I think KKR bowling first. I think, if you chase, you know what's in front, how you have to go about it.
Yeah, because if you batting first, also with the rain threat, by the way, that's another thing which you have to remember. If there's a rain threat, you want to be batting second.
Yeah, and if they continue bowling like this, I think it's going to be very easy for.
I mean, I don't see this happening because right now, see, the ball is seriously moving. But we know. He was a goner. I can't believe no one reviewed that.
Oh no.
Oh no, this is a game changer potentially.
Golden opportunity.
Nitesh, nor the keeper, Remanullah, no one decided to review.
That was, I think,
and there wasn't even an appeal.
Yeah, there was no appeal.
Then it's not Nitish's fault. Then.
No, I don't blame this thing because I'm telling you, I was
blame
watching. I blame
the keeper and the bowler.
Keeper and the bowler. Neither of them heard anything.
Yeah.
I think by the way, then Eden is making a lot of noise.
That could be it.
There was a very faint.
It was a tickle.
Yeah, it was a tickle. Very faint edge over there, and it happens at times, with those.
Yeah.
He was a goner even with a direct hit over there.
So LSG somehow are hanging in there.
But they've not been able to get any runs, really major runs whatsoever so far. And I think credit to even the 2 young KKR bowlers, they've stuck to their lines, not made it easy. I think right now Vaibhav, because he's also getting the ball to Jag in, and an outswinger to de Kock. Please God, let it happen.
Yep. But I will continue to go back to this CSK DC game because see, I'll tell you why. Because if they had lost this,
then it was a major conundrum.
Not a major conundrum. I mean, look at the post-match. I mean, everybody were just shaking hands, and Ganguly was very forlorn. Saurav Ganguly, the director of cricket in DC, he thanked Andrej Nokia for his contributions. It was good, but MS Dhoni, he was like a calm monk,
Zen mode,
hardly displaying any kind of emotions. It's like a professional job done. Okay, now we focus on 23rd. 23rd? No, 22nd.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't that worried about this match. He already was thinking ahead of the playoffs, what the matchups could be like, who potentially he could be. You expect Dhoni again. He is, he's somebody who prepares for the future. He is somebody who has that foresight. And but very, very convinced, I'm sure he must have been with this win because CSK ticked most boxes, and I think that's what matters for Dhoni.
It is.
Yeah.
And especially I want to focus on the last point that MS Dhoni made. I think death bowling, confidence is very important. But the next point, Tushar has developed. Because he's able to execute under pressure, he has the confidence now. We all were criticizing, is he an orange cap contender also? Because he was leaking runs.
Leaking runs, yeah.
But look at the way how he bowled.
It was the same Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who I remember the second match that they played against LSG was livid with his bowlers for all the extras that they had leaked.
And mostly it was Tushar.
And it was Tushar, by the way, who had a bad game that time, I remember, because he was trying to go for that wide Yorker.
Too often.
And he, I think, easily gave about 3 of them were wides, I remember, in that last over that he bowled. From that, in 13 games now, rather 12 games from that point, he's heaping praise on him. So that's all that it's taken for MS Dhoni to turn a bowler's confidence around and to have that faith also in him that okay, I am trusting him with dead bowling as well. And that's credit to the man.
In fact, I think it's interesting to also note what Deepak Chahar says about Tushar Deshpande. He says that I think he's improved a lot and he's getting the confidence in his stock ball. If you don't believe in your stock ball, you switch to plan B and plan C too early.
Yes.
This was a mistake I used to make earlier. That's the thing. With Tushar Deshpande, why was he struggling? Because he wasn't necessarily confident in his usual stock delivery, so he'd be switching to a wide Yorker or a slower ball, and he was not able to execute those properly. So what happens there then is that if your stock ball is not giving you confidence, then your variations won't. Now, that's changed.
Exactly. Dwayne Bravo is having a lot of sessions with Tushar Deshpande. I mean, whenever you look at the CSK videos, Bravo is always in his ear saying that you have to bowl like this, just stay calm. Because remember, Bravo was a superb death bowler for CSK.
Arguably one of the best ever in history of the IPL. Him and Malinga, really, it doesn't come close. Maybe Bumrah now, but
Bumrah,
again, it's with Bravo also. It's about knowing your strength. He knew that his cutter would land him, a wicket. If not the first time, the second or the third time, for sure. And I mean, let's stick to it.
He had 2 balls in the death. One was a slower ball, like a kind of sort of leg spinner one. The other was a wide Yorker. And mind you, the wide Yorker would be at 120, 130. But if you're hitting the accurate length, then it doesn't matter.
Oh,
it's a big one.
It's a big one. And remember, Quinton de Kock has a very good record against.
Don't remind me. That's why I regret that no one heard that tickle.
Exactly. So, I'm already feeling drained because there was so much of tension. I mean, anything could have happened. That shows that, see, even in this, Delhi Capitals, they're not a team to be underestimated. It's just that if they're consistent, they can do a repeat of 2020 or 2021. I mean, that's
which is why you heard from so many experts that, many of them had DC in their top 4 ahead of the season when predictions were taken. Many expected DC to be there. Because again, it's just that altogether the batting unit failed. And at all times, nobody that is something you can't anticipate. You can't say that the whole batting unit will flop. You could have, let's say, pinpointed and said, okay, this player doesn't look in form or whatever. And for every player, you can go ahead and say that, when you're talking predictions. But then for the whole unit to not work out, that is something you can't predict.
Exactly. And let me tell you, folks, many people raised the question, you're playing CSK in 2023, I said. See, you rewind the video that we all did prior to the IPL, which are your top 4 teams. We had to give reasons, right? I had said, see, in 2020, they were down at the bottom. They reached the final in 2021, won the title. 2022, they were at the bottom. Now they are in 2023 in the playoffs. Never ever ensure that CSK are down and out. Maybe after 2024, it may change.
I think that's a lesson we've all learned. CSK,
is that okay?
That they bounce back.
Thanks to Tala Dhoni, his captaincy.
That was actually Harshit Rana's wicket.
I'm still not focused on the Eden yet, but yes, from the Arun Jaitley Stadium, which is now going to empty out, and everybody will be feeling like very, very drained. Especially the heat, the Dhoni frenzy, that's ended. There is no retirement or all those kind of talks anymore now. That's been put to bed for at least another 1 week, potentially. We go to the Eden Gardens, where Harshit Rana has taken the wicket.
First wicket, and he's gotten
Karan Sharma.
That's the thing. LSG's woes with their openers continue.
Yep, it does. So,
like I told you the other day, Harshits do deliver at times.
Was there ever any doubt? Mohit doesn't, Harshit does. So, okay, any other
Let's take a few questions.
Let's take 1-2 questions because now this match is already in the second over. Questions, please. Any qualifier matches? Harish Madhisetti saying, qualifier match in Chennai, do you think CSK have advantage?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, but I think GT are an all-round team.
No, but I think if there's any ground you'd back yourselves to beat GT, it would be this. Because again, don't forget, in Ahmedabad, they've been faced with very different conditions.
Yes.
I would definitely back CSK in that particular match.
Yep. So that's why it's 50-50.
Yeah.
Because GT are the defending champions. They were the first team to qualify for the playoffs. For a reason, they are the best in the business. So, should Huda be given more chances in T20I or drop him and give chances Tilak or Rinku for WI T20I series?
Interesting question, GGK.
Yeah.
I think you'll stick with Deepak for now.
Really?
Yeah, because again, I'm not a big fan of dropping players on the basis of an IPL.
True.
He's not done too poorly in the T20 opportunities, and he does get bowled a lot more under the new captain. I think you'd stick with him, but I think you take Tilak or maybe Rinku for in the squad.
Gargi, your counter to that, you are saying why?
No, I just asked him why he thought so, because he hasn't been doing well, and even in international he has.
He's had a mixed record.
Failed to set the stage on fire, I would say. But then again, we talk about long ropes, and that's required for you to get in, young players into the international circuit and to get them used to the international kind of pressure.
Yeah.
So I think a few more chances, and then you could make a decision.
I would agree with the first part that Gargi said, but I don't agree with the second part because Deepak Huda, unfortunately, he, apart from the game against Ireland, he's actually struggled. Of course, you may argue with the ball, but not with the bat.
No, I do remember a couple of, again, cameos. 20 runs coming in 11 deliveries, let's say. Okay, not everyone can give it in 6 balls like 7 balls like Jadeja did today.
Just stop somewhere.
He picked those 4 wickets as well.
Yeah. Just stop somewhere and just go up. Okay, yeah, continue.
So, I don't think he's done too wrong, let's say, in international cricket for him to be discarded yet.
Because I would say if you want to build for the 2024 T20 World Cup, incidentally are going to play in the West Indies after the World Test Championship.
True.
The right time is who are in form. Rinku is in form. Tilak is in form.
Ideally, I could say look at someone like a Shivam Dubey as well in the middle order.
Shivam Dubey.
But Shivam Dubey is not bowling for India.
No problem. You're looking at him as a pure batsman.
Hardik is bowling.
I don't know if you can look at him.
The numbers he has against spin.
It's good and he's in form. I don't know.
And remember,
Why have another Hardik Pandya, let's say, in the side?
But you need more than one all-rounder. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people have said that, you dropped a Venkatesh Iyer because Hardik Pandya was back. Do you only want one pace bowling all-rounder?
But that's what I'm saying. 2 people who have the ability to bowl but will not end up bowling. Why do you rather just have, let's say, somebody like a Tilak? Okay, his suit again, he's
only a batsman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And see, at some point you will be tempted to bowl him, and then the expectation will be that you bowl me the perfect over or the perfect couple of.
I think the expectation is done now for his bowling after last year's 19th over against who was it?
Against LSG.
Yeah, I think his bowling career is done after that.
Yeah.
Harsh, but I think it's done.
And again, see, Tilak and Rinku, what are they? Left-handers.
Yeah.
In addition to Shivam Dubey.
That's the thing. That's the main reason I'm looking at these guys, because you desperately need a left-hander in the middle order. Too many righties.
Yeah. Rishabh Pant, see, anyway, whether he will be fit for 2024 is a big mystery. You wouldn't immediately want to rush back him. He has to regain fitness, play games. So, because he got injured in that accident in 2022 December, he's out for the entire of 2023. We don't know when he'll be back in 2024. So, you need the likes, if they're in form now, play them in couple of T20 international bilateral series, then judge them on the talent pool based on what is there in the 2020.
And you don't have those many series. Because again, 2023 is an ODI year.
You will play T20I series only after December.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why. You only have 3 months to decide.
No, how 3 months to decide?
No, July?
July 2024 is the T20 World Cup. So
you'll have 6 months time.
Yep. Aditya Kavlekar. Man, if that is true, then I will pace this and then I will call you the new Nostradamus, because Aditya Kavlekar is saying.
I read this as well. Yes.
In 2018, David Willey was injured and replaced by Kedar Jadhav.
Okay.
CSK went on to win the IPL. Great. 2023, David Willey is injured and is replaced by Kedar Jadhav. आप समझ रहे हो आदित्य कावलेकर comment of the year.
This is something that's been doing the rounds on social media.
Comment of the year, Aditya Kavlekar. Hands down. No one else comes even close to this. So,
In fact, people are also saying they couldn't put together teams like CSK. Now what they're doing, they are doing CSK Totkas now.
To be fair, RCB have that habit. I still remember the year after the 49 all out, they purchased KKR's entire bowling lineup. De Grandom, Umesh, Chris Wokes, all there. Umesh, yes.
Umesh. So, I am now totally drained and relieved that Chennai Super Kings are in the final, in the playoffs. It's final four.
It's a final.
Final four, they can if they beat GT.
But you're pulling a UEFA, aren't you?
Yeah, I know. So, yes, even now, second place is still not confirmed. If LSG do not win by big margin, then it'll be GT LSG.
Yeah. Yes.
CSK will face the winner of either MIRCB encounters.
Oh no.
So
They're doing
here,
very well.
fourth over, 18 for 1, Lucknow Super Giants. It's not going to be an easy
That's a
pitch to
big-
bat on.
yeah.
Looking at the pace and swing, it's not an easy pitch to bat on.
I think they've been bogged down a bit by the early swing because right now there's not much movement. We even remember the wicket which Harshad
First two
got.
overs.
Yeah, first overs. The wicket which Harshad got, he hit the deck and it was very short.
Yeah.
It climbed on. So I think it's a pacey wicket, but I think the swing is done now.
Yeah.
2 overs.
Okay, so predictions for this game. Shane, I know you will back KKR, but what's the score?
I think LSG get to about 175 and KKR win.
And then that means they just have to win. I'm looking at trying to overhaul net run rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, what would you?
178 LSG win.
LSG
Although I
winning.
want KKR to win.
Okay, Harshit.
I'm going with an LSG win here, and I think they're posting just about. I'll go with 179.
So 175, 78 and 79. We're picking.
78, you said?
Yeah. We're picking some very close scores here.
I am picking 160. I want KKR to win.
Okay. So we're split house again.
Yeah.
Split house.
But just FYI, the team that both of us picked in the last game actually did end up winning.
Yes. And see, the other team which I truly have a respect both for the players, the franchisee and the fan base is after CSK, it's KKR. They know their cricket. They are passionate about it and they have knowledge.
By the way, the stadium is decked out in purple. So I think
Yes.
the ploy which LSG tried earlier on has not
Earlier.
worked.
And yeah, just one or two questions.
Also
one
the
that's it.
last game of the season now.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. And
So
I've
that
always said
also-
this about Kolkata. They'll turn up for their boys.
Yeah.
So they have in
No,
big
and
numbers.
the whole city, the sporting culture is such
Yes.
that people do turn up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does, and that's the passion. I mean, if you go to an Eden Gardens, it's a jam-packed Eden Gardens. It's one of the 7 wonders of the world.
Honestly, I've seen, so sometimes when you're passing by the areas where the Maidan and all
Yeah.
is, you'll see some school game going on and there's like hundreds of people thronged and watch it.
Yes,
So
yes.
sporting culture is something, by the way, that takes time to develop. Kolkata has always been a sport-loving nation, city, sorry.
Nation.
Sorry, city. Always been a sport-loving city and the whole state of Bengal actually carries that. Because
Again, you're not planning some referendum, huh?
no, nothing of that, sir.
But
Make Kolkata sporting nation.
I wish they had not renovated the Eden Gardens because you have reduced the capacity by
You
half.
have, but then the stadium looks good.
Wow.
It
the
does, but
With this purple
Never mind the
lights.
renovation, I wish they didn't change the pitch.
pitch, yeah.
Kolkata had an array of spinners who worked well on that pitch.
Yes.
You should have not changed that pitch.
Yes.
Or maybe give them a separate this pitch or two for the IPL
Yeah.
and keep one sporting pitch for international games.
Because for people like
Sporting.
Quote unquote.
because for people like me, the 90s kids, watching that old Eden,
was something
capacity of
else, man.
1,10,000.
Yeah.
And even unofficially, it was 1,40,000. Coming into that game, and you would see firecrackers,
Flares. It was crazy.
the crowd cheering, and if the opposition hit a boundary, absolute pin drop silence.
But if India were in the ascendancy, then the opposition would feel stifled because
yes, West
12th
Indies,
man.
West Indies found it out in the very hard
Australia?
way. Australia, always.
2001, that crowd was amazing.
Sri Lanka in '96 turned the tables totally.
Yeah.
That's why.
That went too far.
Yeah, that did. So
That was taking it too
So it's
seriously.
2-2, LSG, KKR, and
And
Saransh.
Saransh is also
Saransh
backing
is the
KKR
finals,
because
yeah.
of course.
Absolutely. And we hope KKR win because I would want to see
You want to see some.
Rohit, Kohli, MS all in the playoffs.
I hope KKR win for one very simple reason to set some panic across the teams tomorrow. Because if KKR don't, then it's a pretty easy thing for both MI and RCB.
RCB.
In fact, even more so for RCB, by
RCB,
the way.
yeah.
Because with MI, they really need a big win, come what may.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And remember, if it's a point and if LSG lose by a big margin, even if RCB get a point
Then they're through.
from the washout, then
Yeah.
RCB are still through.
Yes.
So that's why. But yeah, I would want to see Rohit, Virat, MS. Maybe we'll not see that in future IPLs.
Rohit, Virat, MS, and Nitish Rana.
No, but how Nitish Rana can come in?
Oh, I mean, actually, no, that's not possible.
Not possible.
Yeah, you need RCB to do you a favor, then.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hardik is already there.
yeah.
Dhoni's joined him. Rohit or Virat could join him.
Yeah, it'll be one of the two.
Yeah, can't be both.
Can't be both.
Although, remember, RCB's captain is one certain Francois Duplessis.
Yeah. The only foreign captain.
Actually, yes.
The rest of the foreign captains, their team is at the bottom.
Right,
Woeful,
right,
yeah.
right. That's
Mark
doing
Ram.
well. The only foreign captain.
उनको भी बाहर करा देते हैं फिर
Ooh, nice one.
एक फॉरेन कैप्टन आके भी क्या ही करेगा लेट्स से इंडियन कैप्टन वाला
Well, you're having a
Indian
real-
Premier League, eh?
Yeah, I know. So
Chalo.
let's see how this game goes after that.
Yeah.
Whether it'll be Super Sunday or will it be a slightly less subdued Super Sunday, we can see that.
That's it.
We can see that. So from me, Shane, and Harshit here, Mohit will come back after some time. Bye bye. See you in the mid innings, and I'm going to have a party after
So,
this now.
yeah, she doesn't count.
I said Gargi, didn't I?
You didn't.
Oh, Gayatri, Gargi. Sorry. From all of us here, bye bye, Nandri. See you in the mid innings.